Good morning, everyone. So, this is a start of a new year, and I'm actually getting ready to go to Toronto Comic Con. It's going to be my first Comic Con of the year, and first, I'm going to get some coffee made as well as pack up a few other things like hot water and regular cold water, as I have a very long 8-hour drive ahead of me to Toronto. And after that, as soon as I arrive to Toronto, I'm going to have to unpack my car and set up my table. I'll have a little extra time tomorrow as well to do that, but yeah, as soon as I arrive, the majority of it I'm gonna try to set up tonight. They don't allow us to set up until 7, unfortunately, so we will see how that goes. I think they probably usually close the doors at 10 o'clock if I remember correctly. But yeah, so this is my first con of the year, and you guys can see start to finish how I do things. So let's get a coffee, let's get on the road. Okay, so coffee's done, and I got my hot water boiled. And if you're wondering what the hot water is for, it's basically for foods that I take along with me. So sometimes I'll take like instant noodles or oatmeal, or even just having tea or things like that. Then any of that kind of stuff, I just use hot water for travel and for at cons, so it works great. And then of course just regular cold water to drink so I don't get dehydrated. The drive went well. I was able to find parking relatively easy, as well as unloading the car. It was my first time using the loading dock, and it was so easy and fast, so I'm definitely probably going to use that again for the next time. I finished setting up in a reasonable amount of time, and everything went up without a hitch. So after I got this done, I felt like I was able to relax and finally enjoy my time in Toronto. Here's a sneak peek of my booth for Toronto Comic Con 2024. A lot of the times you won't get very much space behind these tables, and so you have to keep things compact and kind of within 2 feet of space. Here's underneath the table where I store a lot of the things. It's not very organized right now, but I do try to keep things organized within my luggages so that I don't have to bring them back and forth every day. I made it to Toronto Comic Con, and today is the first day, so I am going to be finishing setting up my table. It's done for the most part. Voila! I got my little cactus cats. They're all ready to go and be adopted. I got my backdrop set up. I really like the backdrop. And I got some new keychains that I made, and some that I also tried out with my Glowforge. I have earrings, so I'm really excited today for that. Usually Fridays aren't super busy, so who knows? Toronto Comic Con might be different. I feel like it's different every year. And yeah, got some familiar faces too, so I know some people, some booth neighbors I have. I'll probably do, I'll probably show them off in a bit as well, so you guys can see some different artists in there, so that'd be pretty cool. Yay! Look it, that's so cute. I love all this 3D stuff. I want to do more 3D stuff in the future, but I do walk around beforehand because essentially after the con starts, you don't really have time to walk around much. It just gets too busy. Look at that. So cute. Ooh, the Kitten Bomb. One of my favorite artists. Love her stuff. And we gotta check out Glitter Bones. I can tell by the drop down. Hey, hey! I hope you don't mind them vlogging.
No, I'm gonna go.
Okay, cool.
I don't know how people have time to like vlog and do a
I know, right? I'm already like, I feel like I don't have any footage at all, but I'm trying my best. I'm just starting, so I really want to try. The claw machines are dangerous, but I promised myself I'm not going to spend any money on them this year. I lose too much money playing those things. It's a dangerous game. Okay, it's about time. I think it's getting a little bit too busy in here. Probably head back to my table. Just gonna do one last quick stop at Color Find Me and Zeller Pins. It never fails. I thought I had already updated this like literally a week ago, but of course when I need it, there's another update I need to do. So I just used my square. I always have an extra square as a backup because honestly, I'm not impressed with how much I paid for this Shopify thing, all of the problems that I've had with it. So yeah, I have a square as a backup, and I just ended up using that while I had to wait for this thing because it literally wouldn't let me process the payments without doing a stupid update. Friday felt relatively busy, and then Saturday was actually my slowest day, I think. And Sunday seemed to pop off for people. So Sunday was a day especially for people to buy. And I have noticed more of a trend lately of more people buying more things on Sunday. And I find that happening with more and more cons that I attend. So I think Sundays are probably going to continue to be my best days, and Saturdays not as great, when usually Saturday is the most busiest day of really any con that you attend. Hey everyone, so I made it back home. I also got con crud, of course, from Toronto Comic Con. So I do recommend always packing sanitizer, and I also get extremely dry on my hands, so I should have brought lotion with me, but it was my first con of the year, and you're always bound to forget something that you thought you brought along. I just wanted to go over some last minute things from Toronto Comic Con. Overall, I think it was an average Toronto Comic Con show. I was down from last year, but a lot of the other people around me, they were up, so I think that's pretty good. And I wanted to kind of do like a breakdown of what it cost me for things. So my table was $372, and then it cost around about $160 to drive there with my gas. And then it was about another $100 for takeout and dinner. But I also tried to bring a lot of snacks from home and stuff to save that way, so it would have definitely cost me more if I got like lunch and dinner every day. And luckily for me, I was able to stay at a friend's house, so I didn't have that extra cost associated. But even with that, it's a total of $632, and I did make more than that, so it was a good Toronto Comic Con, but again, I was down personally from last year. However, I will definitely do Toronto Comic Con again. I feel like it's a very average show, and the table is decently priced where I don't feel kind of overwhelmed to make a certain amount back. I still did well. I still made a profit. So if you guys are interested in doing Toronto Comic Con to kind of get started with, because the tables are cheaper, so I highly recommend that. It was incredibly busy there this year, but I feel like it gets busier every year, as well as there were some thefts that were spoken about. So I do say keep in mind to keep your belongings tight on your body. I always try to wear a fanny pack, and I always keep my phone and my POS systems in the bag as well. I try to never leave them on the table or like in access of anyone that could just, quickly go around the table and grab it. I always try to keep it as close to me as possible, especially me as someone who tables alone a lot and most of the time. So always keep that in mind if you do think of tabling at these shows. And yeah, if you liked this video, I would appreciate a subscribe and a like. I do plan on posting more art stuff in general, and of course more cons in the future and more reviews. So if you guys are into that, stay tuned for more. And thanks so much for watching. So bye!